Property Tribes on location at the Southampton Boat Show, and we thought we would explore some synergy between the Property Tribes and the Boating Tribes. And I'm delighted to be joined by two landlords who are also into boats. It's Chris Cooper and Steve Bolton, aka the Tenant Tax team, but taking a day off here to enjoy the Southampton Boat Show. And guys, first of all, Chris, what was your kind of dream when you started out in property, and what have you achieved in terms of your boating ambitions?
Well, I've always been very passionate about sailing. I bought my first boat probably about 15 years ago, but never really got that much time to be able to use it. And so about 12 years ago I started out in property, which has actually enabled me to go part-time for my which was then a full-time job, which means now I get about 10 days off every month to go off and enjoy my passion, which is sailing, being out on the water. Love it.
And you've got a 37-foot boat down at the Hamble, haven't you?
It's actually a 29-foot boat.
Sorry. I've upgraded you there.
Yeah, I've got a Hellberger Rassie 29. It's a gorgeous boat. She sails really well, and it's just fantastic to get out on the water there. And what I really love is, I use the engine to get out on the water, and then I put the sails up, and then off goes that engine. It's just sheer peace. It's all about the journey. Love it.
We've got both the boating tribes represented here, because we've got Chris for sailing, and then we've got Steve Bolton for boating, motorboats. So what about you, Steve? Was kind of the boating lifestyle one of the reasons that you got into property, and where are you at with your dream?
Yeah, I think I've always been really passionate about fishing, going all over the world, catching big fish, and that got me into boating. So I started owning boats about 12 years ago, and it was through property that gave me the time freedom and financial ability to be able to start doing that. So I had boats from 21 foot up to about 40 foot. The one we're on at the moment is the one I'm looking at for next year potentially. But yeah, great from a family point of view. Lovely to spend time with friends and family on the water. Probably some of my best thinking, my best phone calls happen on the water as well, and get to meet great people like you guys and Chris, and there's a good tribe. I think a strong correlation between the number of people that invest in property that are also into boating as well.
I think you touched on a point there, that it's not only actually being able to afford a boat and all the ancillary costs that go with it, it's actually having the time to be able to use that, and property is one of probably the few things that you can do that actually allows that.
Yeah, definitely, and having that freedom. It's we all know it's not plain sailing. It's hard work. There's tenant problems. There's property problems. You're always going to get those kind of issues. But one of the benefits is you get the flexibility of time. It's not you've got to open an office at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning and open it all the way through till Saturday evening. There's some freedom and some choice that comes with it. So yeah, I love it. But definitely motorboats are the way forward. What was it they say? They say sailors is all about enjoying the journey, and motorboats all about enjoying the destination. Well, I'm a destination guy.
You got anything to say that?
Yeah, I'm a destination guy as well, and we get there in the end. And it's just that we have more fun on the way, I think.
Indeed.
And we're powered by nature, which I think is the way forward.
Unless there's no wind, obviously.
In this
Now,
case, we're forced to use an engine, unfortunately.
let's talk about the Southampton Boat Show, because obviously when we're doing our sort of everyday 9 to 5, whatever we're doing in our everyday workaday world, how important do you think it is to come out to an event like this? Because I think it's very inspiring. It keeps you in touch with that dream. It keeps you moving forwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I think having goals, having dreams, having ambition for the future is really important. And I remember early on in my journey, I read a book, and it said go and view a house that you could not afford to buy, but in an area that you would like to live. And this was going way back when. And I went to view this sort of multi-million-pound house in an area that had no idea how I was going to afford it or if I could live there. Ironically, 10 years later, I ended up not buying that house, but it was about 7 houses away from that house that I went to view. And I remember, sort of thinking, oh my God, about 10 years ago, I viewed a house, no idea how I'd fund it, whether I'd ever be able to kind of live there. And I think boating, I find it really quite motivational. We were on a Sunseeker earlier today. I don't particularly aspire to own a Sunseeker, but actually when I had my first sort of 21-foot boat for £10,000 to be coming on something that's a lot more expensive now. It's very motivational, very inspiring. Goals are what keep us progressing and moving forward. So I think encourage anybody that if you don't like boating, obviously don't come. Maybe go to a motor show or whatever, but get out there and see what's there from a motivational point of view.
Yeah, what the possibilities are.
And I also think somewhere like the Southampton boat show, you can actually try a boat out as well. They take you out and you can certainly get information, go on different boats, and maybe it'll create a dream that you don't already have. And if it does, then there's sailing schools that you can learn to sail, or you can learn just to be on any boat, whether it's a motor cruiser or a sailing yacht, and maybe that'll help you build your dream. And for me, where property is concerned, eventually I'd quite like to do a circumnavigation, slowly, over a sort of 5-year period, and getting into property will help me realise that dream.
I think the other thing as well, when I started out boating, I was in a boat share club, so I paid for and I was a 1/8 member, and actually that was a very affordable, so I ended up with a share on a boat that I never thought I would have been able to afford, but actually because I came to the Southampton Boat Show, I found this club, this sharing group, joined it, and it was a fraction of the cost, so it might be more affordable than you think actually.
No, I agree with that. I do agree. And also I think the other thing we should touch on is also the kind of networking that goes on here. I mean, we've all met up, and it's great to meet other people that have the shared interests, because you can be inspired by them, learn from them, share ideas. That's all part of keeping on track with your dream and your goals, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's as you say, it's been great to meet you guys today. When I've come before, we used to run Platinum Property Partner events here. We'd have 40 or 50 of us get sort of VIP treatment with Fairline and Sunseeker and network and look at boats, but talk business as well. So yeah, really good thing to do.
And have you enjoyed that aspect of it, Chris?
I have, definitely, yeah. In fact, today I met an old friend of mine, Nick Crang, who's from yachtworld.com, and that's effectively the marine version of Rightmove on a global scale. And in fact, I sold my first boat using yachtworld.com, and if you go on there, you can find, as Steve said, you can do yacht shares and all sorts. And there's also various companies. I don't know which one you had your share with, but there are companies a bit like what were the things that they used to sell out in Spain? The timeshares. So it's like a timeshare on a boat, and yeah, you can get involved literally for a few £100s a month for a really decent yacht and get out there on the water, do some courses, and yeah, it's great fun.
It really is. And I think just to finish, guys, what I would say is that, when people have a goal or a dream, when people say to me, oh, I want to be rich, I don't think that's a good enough thing, because I think one of the great joys of if you do have a success and create wealth is actually being able to share that with other people. And one of the great things about sailing and boating is it's a lifestyle, isn't it? It isn't just the boat, it's all the social aspects that go on around it that can involve family and friends.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I like you, I meet so many people that talk about money and I want to be rich, or they have these huge £1 million kind of net worth figures and want to be earning millions of pounds a year. And actually, one of the things I did very early on with my sort of goal setting was I costed out. I imagined my ideal lifestyle, and then I costed it out. And actually, when I did that, it didn't cost as much as I thought. So my goals didn't need to be as big in a financial sense, because I think it's not just about money. It's about actually, why do we want money? It's for time, it's for choice, it's for location, it's for travel, it's giving back, all of those sorts of things. It's not just about money. Money's obviously important. It feeds and makes a lot of those things easier. But ultimately, as well as having financial goals and boat goals or car goals, material possessions, if you like, I think, how much holiday do you want to spend? How much time do you want to see your family? Travelling, what places you want to go to, or what kind of contribution and giving back do you want to do. So thinking about goal setting in a more holistic sense. But if you like boats, then definitely should have a boat on the vision board.
Yeah. Anything to add?
Well, the only thing I could add to that is, as Steve is saying, it's the reason why you want the money in the first place. Having money for the sake of having money is absolutely no point whatsoever. But it's clearly defining what it is you want to do with that money, whether it's actually creating the amount of time off that you want to enjoy different pursuits and different passions, spend time with your family, and a holistic life. That money's just the mechanism by which to be able to do it.
I think when you have time off like this, it's a great time to reflect and to think and plan and kind of move forwards as well. So it's so important to have that balance in your life as you move forwards.
Without balance in life, then you have nothing, in a way.
Well, thank you both for joining me, and thank you to Jeannot for allowing us to use this boat for our interview. And we hope you've enjoyed looking at different lifestyle goals through the eyes of property investors. Thank you for watching.